Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, here to do another short. I'm with Scott.
Hey everybody.
And Anders, who is the bar manager and head bartender at the local lounge in Mount Holly.
Hey, what's going on?
And we're going to do a quick short for you, following up on something we did a few months ago, talking about what we saw on Ranker's top 10 bourbon list. And Anders listened to it and he said, you know what might be interesting to see what the top 10 whiskeys are being purchased and drank at the local whiskey lounge, which, as all of our listeners know, in Mount Holly, New Jersey, by legitimate connoisseurs in our area. What's a local picture look like? And so that's what we're going to do.
Whiskey short.
Yeah, and I just want to say that we got everything so fucking right on that top 10. We covered every single one of them.
Called
Right.
it.
And or
Couldn't find it. Blanton's the only one we didn't feature because...
also Pappy.
Well,
Right.
Okay.
But nobody can
So
find
far.
that.
So far. Give us time.
Soon.
So Anders has a list of the top 10 whiskeys that was sold at the NumberOne.
American Whiskey Bar in New Jersey.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Bitches.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, just to review for people, the thing that makes the local lounge local is they don't have any foreign whiskeys there. They have 172, as of today, American whiskeys. So if you want to have a single malt or a smoky scotch or a peaty scotch-like whiskey, it has to be made in America.
So, the top 10 whiskey episode from Ranker is definitely one of my favorite episodes that you guys have done.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah, no,
thank you.
it's so funny because I'm always backlogged in episodes, but I always find myself going back to that episode. It's ridiculous.
It's a fun one, yeah.
I love when you get higher because you guys get a little bit belligerent. It's like, what the fuck?
Like Buffalo Trace comes in at 4, we're just obnoxious about it. Eagle Rare 6, and it's just Buffalo Trace aged better. Like, come on, people. That's the only thing I have to say was like a slip on the list.
10-year-old Buffalo Trace versus not 10-year-old Buffalo
And
Trace.
I think like Pappy Van Winkle was number 3, and I'm like, how many fucking people
Who
have actually
drank it?
Yeah, how many
Yeah.
people have tasted
It's
Pappy
an
Van
aggregate
Winkle?
of 7 people.
Yeah, you didn't taste it. You just know it by name.
Right. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
So rather than just being an aggregate of the population of people who vote on Ranker, this is the top 10 bourbons, rye, and American single malts that we've sold this far over at the local lounge.
All right, so take us to number 10 of the list.
Okay.
Number 10, Stranahan's Single Malt.
Stranahan's.
Wow.
Okay.
Stranahan's. Stranahan's is a single malt out of Colorado. A lot of American single malts come out of very mountainous regions. So Colorado, the western part of Virginia, areas that are rather mountainous end up producing these really great single malts.
Is this a Diamond Peak?
It is not the Diamond Peak.
No,
it is the
okay.
yellow labeled Stranahan single malt.
Oh, okay.
So it drinks somewhere between, I guess it would be a Isla whiskey, your Lafroy's, your Ardbegs, your really smoky,
Right.
Yeah.
peaty, like cigar wrapped in a Band-Aid kind
Yeah.
of scotches.
And maybe like some brine and stuff in
a
it too.
little briny, yeah.
Yeah.
Although this one is a little bit lighter. It has a strong, like Meyer lemon flavor. It's
amazing.
really prominent, along with a little bit of smoke, a little bit of peat.
Do you happen to know how they get their smokiness? What do they roast it on? Do they use Scottish peat, or do they use something intrinsic to America?
I believe that they use peat. A lot of them will import peat, but they'll smoke it and age it and distill it here in the U.S.
Right.
Where would I hate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Where would you hate it? Where would you put Lafroy out of 1 to 10?
Oh, 8 hate.
8 hate. 5.
Okay.
You would sip it and be like, this isn't so bad.
Number 9, Bullet 10 Year.
Wow.
Yeah, number 9 is Bullet 10 Year.
I actually bought that
Good
last
stuff.
week when I was in there because I love it.
It is better than the regular Bullet.
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about the 10-year and 12-year age statements that Bullet put out is like everything was great as it was.
Right.
Great product they put out at a great price point. It was so enjoyable. It's something that you could either drink neat on the rock in a cocktail, and then they just put something that was just a little bit more elevated, but it's not overpriced. It's exactly what you want to pay for it, and it's just that much better. It's such a great bourbon.
I love the 10-year bourbon because I end up buying the rye more than the bourbon. I haven't drank that much bourbon. So when I get the 10-year bourbon, I'm like, wow, this is so much better.
Yeah.
It's
Treat
fun.
yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, the 10-year bourbon is delicious.
Yeah.
And we talk
It's
about
delicious.
how Scott and I don't really care for the 12-year rye, which surprised us and kind of
Oh, man, I
us.
do.
When you're really familiar with a taste and you really love it.
Yes.
And you get something that's slightly
A
different.
variation on the taste. It can be a little...
Now,
Yeah.
if you don't drink a lot of Bullet, I completely urge you to get the 12-year.
Right. It's not like we're saying that the Bullet 12 Philadelphia rye is terrible.
I've had it. It's delicious, but
Yeah.
I'm used to the flavor of the regular rye, so it actually. And the same thing happened to me with Woodford Double Oak. Double Oak is like $20 more, and everyone raves about it. And I had it. I'm like, oh, this is good, but I'm tasting a little Woodford. I want all Woodford. Right. You know what I mean, I want my Woodford. What I like to drink.
I don't want the. I want the Woodford.
Yeah.
I want the regular bullet rye. I don't want it old. I want it young.
Yeah.
Young.
What are you walking home, Bullet Rye?
But yeah,
So creepy.
Number 8, Woodford Reserve.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which was, where was it on the ranker list?
Let's see.
Top 2 or something?
Woodford Reserve was number 2.
Right.
two. Yeah.
Of number 8 in the lounge, Woodford Reserve. It's delicious.
Yeah.
You know, it's my origin story.
I'm not surprised at all. I mean,
I'm not either.
I would be surprised if it was not on the list.
It should definitely be the top 10.
Yeah. It's a lot of people's favorites. It's a great mixer. It's great to drink just on the rocks.
It is, and I think it's one of those things where, you know, people get into a whiskey lounge, even if they're not particularly like avid whiskey drinkers, if they're like, oh, you know, this is something that I had one time and I've always enjoyed, and they have it here at a good price, I'll definitely sip on it for a while.
The reason it's not higher is because, like, I feel like the general public knows about Woodford. That's like, that's their upgraded whiskey. But for a true, you know, aficionado, there's the Hill Rock family. There's the Whistle Pig family for the ryes.
Right. Woodford's for our friends that we bring.
Yes.
Right.
Woodford is for the people.
It's
and
delicious.
we call it the gateway to bourbon.
Yes.
When people say,
absolutely.
When people say, I want to try whiskey, bourbon, what should I get? I say Basil Hayden or Woodford Reserve. Make that your first buy.
Yep.
Make that your first buy. You can't go wrong with it.
Number 7, Angel's Envy Bourbon.
I don't like it.
Now, what's funny is, and this is a great question Scott and I always had, we love the Angel Envy Rye, as you know. We did an episode on the port finished bourbons, which included Angel Envy and Breckenridge.
Breckenridge, right?
And we like the Breckenridge a little bit better. Now, I've heard some things about what Angel Envy's been doing this year.
Yeah.
They have a cask strength
They
of
have,
the bourbon.
and
They do.
And they have a sherry.
about that.
A sherry finish.
They have a sherry cask finish that you can only get in Kentucky right now. And I'd love to try it because I only like the port finish.
Right. So we didn't get to the Angel's Envy in our bourbon top 10 because it
Right.
wasn't on the top 10.
Yeah.
But it is number 13.
Oh, there you go. It's like right there, right at the precipice. And I think Angel's Envy is one company that they know what they're doing. Like, they've got an incredible distillery down in Kentucky. The bourbon is tremendous. The rye is fantastic. And it's just something that's like really approachable.
Other people do like it, and it's probably a good gateway for certain people, but I just personally just don't enjoy it. I don't think it's bad, and it is unfair, but I do compare it unfavorably to Angel's Envy Rye, which is hands down my favorite whiskey.
But it's also almost $40 more a bottle. So
It's absolutely true.
That's
It's like
true. Exactly.
It's half the price.
Number 6, Gentleman Jack.
wow.
Are you what?
Number 6 is Gentleman Jack.
All right, I'm going to see.
So this is for the friends that we bring. This is for the
I'm going to
friends.
see where it lists on. It's got to be on this list somewhere.
Gentleman Jack is for the boys.
Because this list is actually on Ranker is actually 30 or 30 plus. So let's see if Gentleman Jack is on this list somewhere. Oh, we're getting down to 30. No, it ran out. It's not even on the list of
Not
35.
even on there.
No,
But where's JD? Oh, where's old number 7?
not on here.
Jack
Not top
Daniels is
35.
not on here.
Interesting.
Wonder.
That is interesting.
I wonder if they're
Oh, it's
thinking that it's
bourbon.
not.
It's not bourbon. It's
technically
Tennessee whiskey.
Tennessee Sour Mash, and Sour Mash is technically bourbon.
Yeah, they're just using the charcoal filtration process at the end.
But I think Gentleman Jack is for those people that are just kind of like branching out.
It might be a step below Woodford. It might be the step ladder to the step of
Right,
Woodford.
because a lot of people have had Jack Daniels,
Yes.
and they go, "Oh, Gentleman Jack."
That's the
Oh,
first
is
step
that-
up. And it was
All
for
right,
me.
that's a step up. Yeah.
My 40th birthday, the bourbon I had was 2 half gallons of Gentleman Jack. That's what I had at my 40th
2
birthday.
half gallons.
Holy damn!
Yep.
Was this the Scrapple King party? Was
Yes.
yeah,
You were there, right?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
He was there.
Yep.
Scrapple.
And we were drinking Gentleman Jack, and then a lot of people were putting Coke in it, making Jack and Cokes.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they do that.
That's what you do.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's what you do was before you learn.
Number 5, Woodford Double Oaked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a very nice product. Woodford is starting to branch out, but for a while they just rocked 3 products.
Yes.
Woodford, the Double Oaked, and the Rye. And that's all they had, and they did it right.
And now they're starting to branch out. They've got that malted whiskey. It's not a single malt, but it's a malted whiskey.
The wheat whiskey they have.
Yeah, the wheat whiskey. They've got that chocolate malt, which is delicious. It's so good. But that double oaked, I think the double oaked is to Woodford is what Gentleman Jack is to JD. I think people really perceive it as like a step up. And so people have come in and maybe had like a couple of glasses of Woodford at a friend's house or something, or at another bar. They try to branch out and they come in and it's like, what's this double oaked? Or maybe it's people who just really like a lot of oak in their whiskey.
It's a cool bottle too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is Woodford, but oaked again.
Number 4, Angels Envy Rye. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
There we
baby.
go.
Yeah.
That's just
Angels
Scott and I.
Envy Rye. Yeah, you guys just did it. Oh.
So that's Scott and I buy the bottle we buy.
Yeah.
That.
It's so good.
Does that count when you buy bottles? That counts to the total, right?
No.
No?
This is just things that have purchased from behind the bar. Yeah, by the glass. And there's this beautiful complexity that the Angels Envy Rye has, but even still, it's so approachable, even still. So if somebody comes in and is like, I don't like whiskey, Angels Envy Rye.
Yeah.
I love rye whiskey. Angels Envy Rye.
I love bourbons. Angels Envy Rye.
Exactly.
To have that sweet maple flavor that imparts into it from being finished in the rum cask. I mean, a lot of things are finished in rum cask, and Scott and I like most of them, but this seems to be done in a way that really, it's almost like rum is up and down all the sides of it. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it's 18
Dripping.
months. And I think that that's the reason why it's so sweet.
Absolutely.
a lot of people do like 6 to 8 weeks. It doesn't.
3 months.
Yeah.
6 maybe if they're getting crazy, but never 8.
It was episode 11. We did 3. Like the Teelings was like 6 months, and I think
Right, it
the
was very
Tullamore
good.
Dew was about 6 months too. But 18 months is such a
Right.
long time. And I have a theory, and Ed knows the theory,
Right.
that I think that Angels Envy Rye is the same whiskey as Bullet Rye, just aged in Caribbean rum casks for 18 months. They get their 95.5 product from MGP. Both of them do. And the other part of that theory is that Sagamore double oaked rye is
Sagamore.
Bullet Rye double oaked.
Yes.
Right.
I love it.
I entirely subscribe to that.
Awesome. I love
delicious.
it. I just wanted the Anders
Sagamore's so
confirmation.
good. No, I totally.
Yeah. The
Anders
record-
confirmed to both. Definitely.
Here's a sad thing. Angels Envy Rye doesn't even appear on the Ranker's rye whiskey list.
The people are wrong.
Number 3, Blanton's.
Oh, yeah, because you can't find anywhere else in the world. Like,
What do you guys think about that?
I love
It's, I mean, it's the number one on the Ranker, and you know we love it.
And
I mean,
you know I love it. We
Yeah.
were drinking a bottle back on episode 15.
Yeah, Blanton's great, but we literally couldn't find it over the summer in this area.
Yeah.
And if we did find it, it was over $80 a bottle. And I always think there's 2 bottles I can get for 40.
yeah, before we had it with you, we hadn't had it in a long time.
Very long time.
Yeah.
That's a personal favorite. I try to damnedest to keep a bottle at home.
Have you collected the tops, the different ones, or?
Most?
Oh, have you? Okay.
I literally have 5. That second N is a motherfucker.
I have
There's
one-
my curse word of the day. That's my curse allocation.
I have one N.
1 N.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is.
What if
though.
it's the other end?
Ooh.
You need.
I wonder.
I wonder.
Is it cheating if you
trade.
get your end from someone else and you have to
I'll
buy
trade
the
you an
bottle?
S and an A for it.
Ooh.
An S and an M, maybe.
It's like Pokemon
Oh my
cards.
God. An S and an M. He said, how about a B and a J?
That's a whole.
Oh,
that's,
jeez.
that's a whole other podcast.
Number 2, McCarthy Single Malt.
I'm stunned by this one. I
Yes.
am stunned by this one.
Isn't it crazy?
But it
But
speaks to the
there's-
limit of what's available in the lab.
I think there's a good logic behind it.
Very smoky. And,
Yes.
And then I believe you used it in a drink with us, didn't you?
Yes, I used it in The Godfather
Right.
that I did in episode 15.
Right, that's how why I remembered it, yeah.
That is our like direct Ardbeg, Lefroy, Isla whiskey.
It tastes just like a Scotch from Scotland.
And when some grizzled guy looks like a roofer come in, yeah, this place is cool. And he comes in, oh, what kind of scotch you got? And I'm like, try this. I'm not even going to say we don't have any scotch. I'm just pour them a little, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
They smell it.
Smell it.
Yeah. Okay, smoky. All right.
Smells like an ashtray.
Sounds like a burnt pork chop.
I'll take one.
Give me a double.
Exactly.
Number 1, Old Forester. That's kind of weird, right? Anyone?
Yes.
Why?
250-year-old Forester.
What was the difference between 1 and 2? Was it significant?
It was significant.
They're two completely different things.
It was
They are.
significant.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And are people ordering that on the rocks or in cocktails?
This is not including cocktails.
Okay, not including cocktails.
Yes. So these are
Wow.
straight whiskeys that we're
So these
pouring.
are-
The top 10 straight neat or on the rocks whiskeys that
I
we're pouring.
see.
You could have given me 20 guesses. I would have gone Four Roses before. Old
Yeah,
Forester.
right?
I would have gone Basil Hayden, Knob Creek.
It's not even on the top 35 bourbons on ranker.com.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
What the hell do you put that to? To mention the fact that there's like, you have like 4 different Old Foresters.
Yeah, I think Old Forester is something where there's both a combination of like a name recognition and a curiosity. And it's like that one thing that a lot of people who are getting into whiskey haven't tried yet.
I'm not believing anything you're saying. Like,
No.
I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't make any sense.
Do you think it's like a local thing maybe? Like just people around here know Old
Maybe.
Forester and drink a lot of it?
Is
It
it
might
you?
just be reputation. No,
Is
it's
it-
not
are you
me, I
pushing it?
promise. No. I just have people who really like Old Forester, and maybe
Wow.
it's the fact that they can't find it anywhere else. I don't know,
Huh.
but it's
Crazy. All right. Well, that's amazing.
Well, thanks so much for coming by.
yeah. No, thanks for having me. It's been great.
You know, we found out what good, knowledgeable, and newbie whiskey drinkers in South Jersey are exploring
Yeah.
whiskey wise.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Top 10. This is Ed.
This is Scott.
This is Andres. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Have a good day. Bye.
Take care.
Cheers.